Rain tapped softly against the windshield as Claire tightened her grip on the steering wheel, her eyes darting between the faded GPS screen and the towering mansion that loomed ahead. The address matched, but something didn't feel right. She double-checked the delivery slip. Bradley Estate, 4429 West Maple. This was it. But instead of the usual cozy suburban house or apartment complex where she dropped off takeout during her evening shifts, this was a sprawling property with ornate gates, marble fountains, and windows that gleamed like mirrors in the stormy dusk. Still, rent was due, the twins needed new shoes, and her gas tank barely had fumes. She couldn't afford to turn back. Claire stepped out, smoothing her worn jacket over her damp t-shirt. She balanced the 3 brown paper bags and rang the bell. The door opened seconds later, too fast, like the person inside had been waiting. A tall man in his late 30s stood in the doorway. Clean-cut, with sharp eyes that betrayed years of calculated decisions, yet something about him seemed tired. Worn down, despite the tailored suit and polished shoes. Yes. His voice was calm, deep, and guarded. Delivery for Mr. DeWitt? Claire read from the slip. The man raised an eyebrow. That's me. Claire blinked. That couldn't be right. She was sure she saw Bradley on the label. She handed over the food, cheeks flushing. I think I might have messed up, she started. But the man waved it off. No worries. Come inside, it's raining. Claire hesitated. This wasn't protocol. But thunder cracked in the distance, and the girl's giggles echoed in her mind. They were safe at home with her neighbor, eating cereal for dinner, again. Inside, the mansion was warm, yet strangely empty. No photos. No clutter. Just clean lines, designer furniture, and silence. I'm Claire, she said awkwardly. Sorry again about the mix-up. He nodded. Ethan. Ethan DeWitt. She froze. Ethan DeWitt, the name was familiar. Founder of DeWitt Innovations. Tech mogul. Forbes cover. Billionaire recluse after the accident 3 years ago. Claire tried not to stare. He noticed. You recognize me. I've just seen articles, she admitted. I'm not into tech or anything. His lips curved, almost amused. That's a first. Then, as if on cue, a small voice crackled through the silence, a child's voice, high and muffled, coming from the other end of the hallway. Daddy? Claire's breath caught. Ethan's face changed. Just a flicker, but enough. Excuse me, he said, disappearing down the hall. Left alone, Claire glanced around. On the floor by the fireplace was a plush bear. Worn at the edges. A child had been here, and recently. She should have left, but something rooted her. When Ethan returned, his demeanor was softer. You have kids? He asked. She nodded. Twin girls. 6. Wild and wonderful. A smile tugged at his mouth. You're raising them alone. Since they were 2. Must be hard. She gave a tired laugh. Some days, yes. But they're my why. Ethan studied her then, like he hadn't looked at anyone that way in years. You said the order was for someone named Bradley, he asked. Claire pulled out her phone. Yeah. But it led me here. Maybe the app glitched. He frowned and took the receipt. His brows furrowed deeper. This was my wife's account. Claire stared. Your wife? She passed away. 3 years ago. Along with our son. A car accident. Pain flickered across his face like lightning. Claire's throat tightened. I'm so sorry. He nodded, then looked at her strangely. Did the app randomly send you here, or was it something else? She shrugged. No clue. Maybe fate. He laughed, dryly. I don't believe in fate. But the moment didn't feel accidental. As Claire turned to go, Ethan suddenly asked, would your girls like some toys? I've kept a few things. I donate most, but some I couldn't. Her heart clenched. They'd love that. But only if you're sure. He disappeared and returned with 2 dolls, hand-stitched with tiny initials on their feet, E and C. Claire's eyes widened. Emily and Charlotte, my daughters. Ethan blinked. That's their initials. She nodded slowly. He sank into a chair, stunned. I made these for my son's cousins. My niece and nephew. Emily and Charlie. I haven't thought of them in years. Goosebumps crept up Claire's arms. This couldn't be coincidence. I grew up in Milltown, she said, uncertain why. So did my wife. They locked eyes. Claire hesitated, then opened her wallet, pulling out a faded photo. My mom worked as a housekeeper for a family in Milltown. She used to bring me to work sometimes. Ethan took the photo with trembling fingers. His breath hitched. This is my wife. Holding you. The room spun. Claire dropped into the nearest chair. I used to call her Miss Sophie, she whispered. She gave me birthday gifts. Storybooks. She said I was special. Ethan swallowed hard. Sophie was pregnant when that picture was taken. With our son. Claire stared at the ground, emotions crashing like waves. She never told me. She always wanted to find you again, Ethan said softly. She said there was a little girl who lit up her world. They sat in silence. Outside, the storm cleared. I think, Ethan said finally, you were meant to come here. Claire blinked away tears. Maybe, she said. Maybe it wasn't a wrong delivery after all.